Thank you, Lainilda. You participated in the training session of Supervisors of Practicum and School Attachment. What were your expectations from this training?
Okay, thank you. My expectations were, first of all, to be equipped with a thorough understanding on how to conduct school attachment. Okay, this means that I wanted to know really how to supervise students in school attachment, how to do it, what I can do when I arrive at the school. So where can I start and where can I end? What can I do during those supervision? The second expectation is about mentors of our student teachers, because we have an assumption that our mentors are not really supporting the students. So during this training, I wanted that we talk about it and come up with some solutions to solve it.
Yeah.
Okay, also with this training, I want you to really know how to help or support our student teachers on how to conduct their action research. Okay, understand it very well and also know if we are really helping them so that they can do it effectively.
Did the training meet your expectations?
Yes. During the discussions, we talked about how to conduct this school attachment. Okay, we started with looking at the differences between different terms that are used. For example, school attachment, the internship, school practice, whatever. And this have shed the light on what the school attachment is. And also we discussed about the classroom observation. So this really helped me understand very well where to start when conducting this supervision, what I can do when I arrive at a school. Okay, we said that, for example, we should not enter the class when we arrive at a school, but we have to start by meeting the students, talk with them, and also check the documents that they have, and also we saw what we can do when we are in a class, okay, how to assess whatever they are doing, and also what we can do after the classroom observation. So this helped me really understand what we have to do, and will help me also to improve on what I have been doing during the school attachment supervision. Thank you.
You probably have participated in the last session of the school attachment supervision,
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
What major challenges may you have encountered while exercising this duty?
Yeah, the major challenge, even the common challenge that we have during this school attachment supervision, is the question of the time, because the time that we are given is not enough to really conduct the supervision as we are supposed to do it effectively. Okay, for example, we were given 5 days of supervision, but considering what we should do, for example, meeting students, discussing with them, checking the documents they have, and advise on whatever thing they don't do effectively, should take time. And also, supervision is not only getting into the classroom and see how they teach. We should have enough time to sit down, discuss, and also participate in some of the extra activities at the school that they have to participate in them and see how they do it and also advise on everything. We also have to check or talk about the action research. That is the research. We need more time, we need enough time to talk about it. Maybe talk about the topics and also go into different steps that they have to go through while conducting their actual research. So we don't have enough time to do it. So that's why I'm saying that time is the main challenge that we face during this action.
Okay. Do you think this training has provided you with solutions or some solutions to those challenges that you faced before this training, such that the next session of supervision will be carried out more effectively?
Okay, I hope that because during this training we have commented on so many issues, and we came up with different recommendations to URC so that they can improve their planning about the school attachment supervision. So I really hope that next time they will plan according to all of those activities that we have to conduct, and also as lecturers we will do our best.
Last but not least, were you happy with the way this training was organized?
Okay, thank you. Okay, the training, the way it is organized, okay, is good. The content is helpful.
Yes.
And also the logistics is good.
Yeah.
But maybe the time when it was organized, we are in this time of we're preparing Easter. So maybe the period, but everything, other things, there's no problem.
Before I attended this training, I thought that this training would be a platform where lecturers could share ideas as a kind of CPD, continuous professional development, where we share best practices, and it is always a good idea to share knowledge, and in our case, experiences about teaching, learning, and supervision. So that was my expectation, to share ideas.
Did you meet your expectations?
Partially, yes. Partially because we really shared experiences on the nature of teaching, learning, on the pedagogies, methodologies, teaching approaches, teaching strategies. I appreciate that we shared such experiences. I believe that maybe the management will take our discussion into account, but I don't know that. We wait.
Thank you.
From this 3-day workshop, I have gained what is practicum in a general understanding.
Yes.
And with my colleague, you have seen that it is a continuous process, and the school attachment as concerned. With the practicum, we have to take it as also a long process that you have to follow student teachers from the day they go to the school where they are attached up to the end. And we have also thought how we should be working closely together with them so that the supervision can be benefitable to our student teachers as we are trying to mold them to becoming professional teachers. And moreover, we have also gained the knowledge on how to use the supervision tools,
Yes.
like the documents that the student teachers should possess. How are we analyzing them? How can you help our student teachers to interpret them? For example, if we have this format for lesson plan, how a learner, a student teacher, can use it properly so that he goes in the classroom having a very good lesson plan. We have also managed to have general understanding on different key concepts,
Yes.
which are mainly used in teaching pedagogy, where sometimes people can get confusion from teaching methods, teaching approach, strategy, techniques, what are teaching materials, what are teaching aid. So a very good student teacher should be able to differentiate those ones. And with a very good differentiation, he will also be ready to use them appropriately. So I think that you have gained a lot in this practicum and school attachment supervision workshop, and I hope that in the future we shall be doing our work, especially liaising with the student teachers and the school head teachers, so that we come up by the end with the very good trained and professional teachers. Thank you.
Okay. Did you participate in the last supervision of a school attachment organized by URCE?
Yes, I did. I went to visit student teachers in Kigali City at two secondary schools, GS Kigali and GS Kimisagara.
What are the major challenges did you encounter for which you get solutions from this training?
Yeah, the major challenge that I encountered the runners is that most of the time they don't liaise well with the permanent teachers, those who teach the subject that they are teaching, they are offering during the period of international school attachment.
Yeah.
So I even advise them to be working closely so that because when they arrive at the school, they have to work following the scheme of work or lesson plan, scheme of work first of all, which have been designed by existing teachers. Another issue that I encountered is that I saw that the mentors who are there, who usually are supposed to be guiding those student teachers, they are not well trained and they don't know what to do. So sometimes they wait until the end of the school attachment to go to visit the student teacher just to give marks, while they should be guiding and internalizing them or making them be familiar with all the school activities, both curricular activities and extracurricular activities.
Did the training meet your expectations?
Yeah, for sure. The training has met my expectation because what I intend to get is to get a common understanding with my colleagues on how we use the tools that you take when you are going to the supervision of students. And especially the big differences that was there, especially allocating marks. Because some of our lecturers were just thinking it's a matter of going and observe the student teaching and immediately allocate marks. But we need to advise them as human beings so that they can act as models in front of the learners. So I have gained a lot, and I think.
Do you have anything to recommend to the organizers of the training? Any improvement?
Yeah, I think the recommendation is, you see, we have covered a lot within these 3 days, but still, looking at the discussion that you have been holding in the room, the time must have been short. So I think if they can keep organizing regular workshops like this one, we shall do better than what you expect. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What I really expected to meet or to know from this 3-day training has been achieved. And why am I saying this? I say it with an understanding that perfection is a journey. The objectives of the training were basically to ensure that all College of Education lecturers have a harmonized understanding of the practice of school attachment, and I think that's what the discussions focused on. And well, one, we explored what practicum is, the best practices of conducting teaching practice. We looked at the different templates that are used when we are evaluating students. We explored the challenges and the opportunities that the students face. And I think that's what the training was all about. The training was not about homogenizing teachers' practices, but just to make sure that the teachers or the lecturers have a common understanding of what we should be doing when we are supervising student teachers in their respective schools. And I think the different trainers or the different facilitators, each one of them did their part to make sure that at least the teachers got the best they could get from the training. So I'm very convinced that the objectives of the training were achieved. Am I saying that all the challenges have been solved? That was not the intention of the training. So the challenges are there, much as the opportunities are there. So I think I'm very, very, very happy that the training was conducted and we had the level of facilitation that we had.
Okay, thank you. You might have participated in the last supervision of school attachment.
Yes.
You might have also identified some challenges which are not yet to be addressed. But fortunately, as you have attended to this training, have you drawn for it some solutions that will help you improve the next school attachment supervision?
Well, I think we started quite a number of things. I'll be very precise that there are different levels of school attachment supervision or teaching supervision.
Yes.
And one, we explored that there is a pre-conference. And the pre-conference is that when you reach the school, you need to have some time with the teacher trainee so that you have a discussion about what he has prepared. Then there's a supervision during teaching, and there's the post-conference. Those 3 stages, I do believe that either because of the hurry, some of the teachers have directly had a very brief say hello to the student and gone directly to the class.
Yeah.
But in real sense, we teachers should have a discussion about what the student is planning to teach, and if possible, plan with them also. So I think, to me, that was the outstanding thing, that we should be able to observe all these stages of teaching practice supervision. Have a pre-conference with the student, have a discussion on what he's going to teach, go to class, see him teach, and have enough time debriefing what he has taught. That's how we build their skills. That's how we improve them. We help them improve their teaching practices. I think to me, that was the highlight. And now the challenges, of course, are there, that most of the times, the timing may be little compared to all these phases of teaching supervision. And that is something that possibly we're going to be working on.
Yeah.
That the university can work on, so that lecturers have some extended time to do all these phases. But for the purpose of this training, I think the lecturers got the skills. Importantly, apart from the skills, any profession that doesn't have time to reflect on its practice is bound to be static.
And I do think that through sharing of experiences, the lecturers got time to build each other's confidence, inspire each other, reflect on what we do, so that we can identify jointly how we can do better. I think every profession absolutely needs time to relax, reflect on what they do, identify opportunities, identify challenges with hope of overcoming the challenges as well. So absolutely, to me, I think this kind of gathering was critically very important.
Important.
Yep.
Thank you. Dr. Michael, in one session, there is a presenter who highlighted LEAT project
Yes.
as having URC academic staff as main stakeholders and also as key beneficiaries.
Yeah.
What do you understand by this?
I think LEAT is leaders in teaching, and we are teachers.
Yes.
So if you have a project that is mainly focused on improving leadership in teaching, and we are teachers, absolutely, you see there is a connection. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what the project is all about, I wouldn't speak for it because I'm not the PI, but I'm going to speak for it because I'm one of the beneficiaries.
Yes.
Of the partners anyway. I think there is a series of trainings, including the one that we just came from now. There's a series of trainings that this project is all about, that are going to be helping teachers, one, to improve their skills in the various aspects of teaching that we are supposed to conduct here. Preparation of the materials, teaching practices, supervision of teaching for the teacher trainees, and also supervision of the action researches. So that's the relevance of the LEAD project, of the LIT project, to me as a teacher and to my colleagues as teachers. It's all about empowering teachers to do their profession very well, with skills, with resources, and even with sessions like this when we can look at our attitudes towards the profession that we do, and also think about how we can do better. So absolutely, LEAT is a project that is very critical, that is very focused on helping teachers, and that's why I connect with the project. There is the word teaching in the project. I'm a teacher, so absolutely I would expect a very huge connection with the project itself.
Last but not least,
Yes, sir.
do you have any recommendation to the organizers of such training?
I think, like I said, perfection is a journey. It's not an event. What possibly has not gone well today may be thought about for the next trainings.
Yeah.
And I think we read, if you were around, you heard about the recommendations. Most of the recommendations actually are not about the training itself, but about the overall environment within which we do our job.
Okay.
So the training organizers did their best. But we should look at things as a system. The trainers, the trainees, and the lead cannot solve everything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a system. There are resources, for example, human, financial. There is the environment. There are regulations. I think what I would recommend to the organizers is that they look at the LEAD project and whatever training they offer, and be able to connect it thoroughly with other cooperant factors. I'll give you one example. We've been talking about teachers going for training.
Yeah.
You need time. Now, we always time constrained. You may even have a skill, but you fail to get time to implement your skill effectively. So, for example, we supervise many students, you know that?
Yes, I do.
But I wouldn't blame the trainers. That is a system. We have many students, and when we talk about quality education, some people may have different versions of what they mean, but again, for me, I wouldn't say quality without access. So having many students, actually, to me, is also a component of quality, because you may have very few students, you teach them well, you say you have quality, but how many have not been coming? How many are not accessing education? So I think we should look at the bigger numbers as an advantage, but that is something that the trainers can always think about. The other thing is, of course, they are promising to give lecturers some facilitation, computers, for example.
Yeah.
It's important that you teach the skill, but you also you empower people with the resources to implement the skill.
Exactly.
And I think that's what they did, absolutely. I'm 100% convinced that this was a very good training. People learned quite a lot. People had time to reflect. People had time to make recommendations. And I would also recommend for the trainers, or for the organizers of the training, to read the recommendations that we made, because we made them with a conscious understanding that we are all working towards being better.
Yeah.
And in the next trainings, they may incorporate some of the recommendations that we did.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shadrach.
Yeah. Let me have a photo.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this interview. My name is Filotere Nawiha. I'm a lecturer at the University of Rwanda College of Education and coordinator of school attachment in the School of Education, but in Elite Leaders in Teaching project, I'm the coordinator of Student Teachers Practicum.
Thank you so much. You are one person who was involved in the preparation and organization of this training. Yes. What was its objectives?
Okay, objectives of this workshop was to have a common understanding among the UR teaching staff, URC teaching staff, a common understanding of different concepts that we use in school attachment and practicum, and to have a common understanding of the tools that we are using so that we can supervise school attachment in a harmonized way. So the other objective was that school supervisors, that is URC lecturers, have skills and knowledge of how they can support student teachers when they are in their school attachment and practicum activities.
What do you think are the outcomes of this training now?
The outcomes of this training or workshop is that by the end of it, we are sure, based on the experiences that lecturers have shared, we are sure that the practices in relation to supervision of school attachment and action research will be improved. The students and teachers on school attachment and practicum will receive the support that they are expected to get from their supervisors.
It was said during one session of this training that Leaders in Teaching Initiative project, main stakeholders and key beneficiaries are URC academic staff. Can you please explain this assertion?
Yeah, the assertion is true. They are our key stakeholders and beneficiaries at the same time. Why? Because the project aims at building the capacity of URC lecturers, but we are using the local expertise. Among the URC lecturers, we have those who have expertise, and they can share their expertise in different fields with their colleagues. And that's why you have seen that even the trainers are the URC lecturers. In that case, they are our key stakeholders because they are helping us to implement the project. In addition, they are our, as you have said, they are our key beneficiaries because the project intends to build their capacities. Their capacity is being built through this project, and they are the key people who are benefiting from all the activities of this project.
Okay. To what extent do you evaluate the achievement of this training?
Objectives. So I think we have achieved the objectives of this workshop to almost 100% because the attendance was high, the participants were active, they have shared their experiences and the practices, the existing practices in relation to the supervision of school attachment and practicum, as well as action research. So in that, I think they got knowledge and understanding of different concepts, different activities in relation to the school attachment and practicum, and there is a common understanding that has been established among the trainees or the participants. So therefore, I think the objectives were achieved at almost 100%.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.